Okay. Good morning. This is SlapperCast episode number 62. Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm losing track now.
Well, luckily you have a computer in front of you. Let's start again.
Does it have all the numbers?
God's sake.
So how you guys doing?
Good.
Doing well. It's a beautiful day.
It is beautiful.
Look at you.
Mm-hmm. Ready?
Yeah. Doing well. You're horny over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Easter, come and gone.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even know.
I want to go to the store and get all the 50% off Reese's eggs.
Oh.
Just egg-shaped chocolate. Don't taste like eggs, though.
But you must wear a mask.
Yes, exactly. I got my mask.
Look at you.
I brought it. Yeah, I went walking today, so I had to bring it.
Excellent.
See? So.
Chad, where's your mask?
It's in the car.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
So Eric mentioned the other day that he was sick of talking about the big topic of the day, which, of course, the whole world is concerned with right now.
Yeah.
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 So we decided we were not going to talk about that today.
Although OPEC did change, they did sign some deal the other day. I don't know what it was.
That's why we're not talking about it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Just 159 up the street. I don't know where it is where you are. I've seen people post like 84 cents a gallon some places.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes.
Out in Colorado.
Say goodbye to that.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I know. It's ridiculous.
That's like 1970s prices.
Yeah, baby.
All right. So we asked people for questions.
What? No, what? Hell of him. What'd you do for Easter, Chad?
Yeah, Chad.
That's not a question. I got ready for this show, so asking people for questions.
Oh, that's.
And I was setting up these scenes here so that it looks a little nicer.
So that took all day. Okay. What'd you do for Easter, Eric?
What did I do for Easter?
It was yesterday.
I made some food.
Good.
Delicious.
The tri-tip?
Food, tri-tip roast, which I highly recommend. Affordable. A delicious cut of, it's the sirloin on the bottom part of the cow. It's yummy. Had some taters.
How'd you cook it?
I put a dry rub on it and let it marinate in its own dry rub for about 24 hours. So I started on Saturday. And then yesterday I put it on a pan and seared it all up and stuck it in the oven at 350 for about 20, 30 minutes. And it came out delicious.
Whoa.
And then taters and some asparagus.
Did not know that you were the chef.
I've cooking is there was a brief point in my life when I thought that maybe I would want to go into the culinary arts and make that a career.
Wow.
And then I read Tony Bourdain's Kitchen Confidential book, and I decided that it was not the place I really wanted to be.
Why is that?
Have you read that book?
No, but I know
Holy
Anthony
smokes.
Bourdain.
He kind of, he's always, Tony Bourdain, when he was alive, he was definitely, he called it like he saw it. He was honest, and he was just like, this is how this is, and this is great, or this is fucked up, or whatever it is. You know? In this book, he basically talks about what it's like to be on the line in a lot of kitchens, and it didn't sound like any fun at all. Like, it sounded like it was really hard work. It was really crazy, busy, stressful, and I didn't want to be part of that.
Have you worked in the kitchen before?
I ran a bed and breakfast, and I was a breakfast cook for my own business for 5 years. Yeah. So
wow.
So yeah.
Who's bed and breakfast?
What?
Who owned the bed and breakfast?
It was my ex-wife's family, and we took it over, and kind of made it award-winning bed and breakfast in Austin.
The things you learn when you see.
5 years.
That's why you don't go racing towards the
To what?
No, it's another Monty Python scene.
Yeah.
Then we'll go stampeding towards the. Anyway, so so you have to ask these questions. See, we didn't know that about Eric C. Hughes. There you go.
I was also playing full time, so I would work, get up in the morning and do breakfast. And
I'm not
work
impressed.
all day
I got kids.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not impressed.
And do that all day long, and
I
then
had to work.
and then go and play the gig, and then get the next morning and do it again. The only morning I took off Friday morning, because Thursday nights, we're at the Spoke with Jesse normally.
Yeah.
And then we go out and party like rock stars afterwards. So Friday morning, I was like, can I not cook on Fridays and Saturdays, basically?
Yeah.
So sometimes I had
There's a banana on the table.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll see you at 5 for dinner.
But there are a lot of nights, especially when I was still playing in Houston a bunch, where I get home at like 4 a.m. and get up at 6:30 and rise and shine and be the face that sold the business kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Because my ex, she never got up early. She never.
Yeah, we heard that about her.
Wanted to deal with the people, which is fucked up because like you're in a people business. So,
yeah. I want to play music, but I don't want to talk to people. I'll go into rap.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's
so I've cooked before. Oops.
That's incredible. I'm glad I asked.
I like cooking. It's fun.
Yeah,
It's kind of like a little Zen moment when you get a chance to make a nice meal and try new stuff. And I was a pretty good baker for a while. I like baking a lot of food. Master baker.
Master baker.
Thank you.
Yes.
Not really.
Not on the couch, please.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was yesterday.
Wow.
And a roundabout story.
Yeah.
What about you?
I got a lot done yesterday. The gutted the house. Just went nuts. We did the acoustic show on Saturday because we wanted to leave Easter Sunday free for Jeff and the kids, and so yesterday just got rid of a bunch of crap out of the house and set up the recording station. Got a couple of little projects working on some music that I'm writing, and I miss playing live so much. I mean, playing electric so much that I hooked up the rig I was showing you earlier, the rig over there, and I think I damaged my ears. I got damaged the neighbor's ears, but it was so yes, it was really fun in that. Oh, and then so I went for my run and went down to the bayou, and the signs there was nobody down there, and the sign said park and trails are closed. So they finally did it. Houston finally did it, and I only saw about 2 or 3 people on there. I left. I turned a U-turn and went right back home. And my daughter had gone for a run at the same time, and I caught up to her, and she had gone a different way, and I knew which way she went. So I went and got her, and we just came home, and it's rare that I'm such a weirdo that if I have enough of a window to go for a run, even if it's before a show. You remember Austin when we'd play Austin every week. Practically every weekend.
Yeah.
If I had a 45-minute window, I could run 3 or 4 miles and be home and showered. Mm-hmm. Now, it wouldn't be pretty because I'd be getting in the car sweating like a rapist and just, but if I have that, if I have if I see enough of a gap, I'm going to take it, I'm going to run. So it was very strange yesterday to U-turn and come back after not even breaking sweat. And yesterday was 90 degrees.
It was warm yesterday.
I mean, just, and then today it's 60. It's gorgeous, not a cloud in the sky, and gorgeous.
Really nice.
So that was good. And then...
wait, so sorry to interrupt. Where's the trail that you run on? The one over here?
Bayou, sorry, Buffalo Bayou right here?
Okay, because when I drove down today, down Houston, there were people walking on the trail on the White Oak Bayou.
Yeah.
That one.
Well, there's still signs over there too, but they're just not...
Fucking people.
I know. I mean, I have been running every day, and I've been, trying to do something every day. And the reason why I stopped yesterday is because, if they're going to make a dent in this thing, if they, if what they say is true, and everybody has to participate in the sheltering in place, then the only way to do it is for everybody to do it. And you've got to get up and above 90% of the people staying in, because 50% isn't going to cut it. 60, 70% is not going to cut it. You're going to have to, everybody's going to have to, so we did our thing, and we, the coming home after not, getting it was very strange. So anyway, I came home and I just ripped the place apart and just got busy with I also like to walk out my porch in the morning, just a sheet, my hair down. You freak the neighbors out and go, "Oh, he's here." But
did you have your hair down yesterday?
Yeah. I just like to.
The prophecies were true.
Yes. So, but yeah, very, very, very productive day. One of the most productive I've had in a while. So
yeah.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
But Chad, seriously, all you did was get ready for today? All day yesterday.
Well, I was also...
How long does it take to make an Instagram post?
I was also, listening to the live stream recordings from the other day and trying to mix that. And I started working on the video, or the re-edit of that version, taking the alternate camera angle that Patrick got, which I didn't even know about until after we were done. I was like, oh, cool. So when I pulled that off of his old...
he does it.
It's this old camcorder he has. So I got that footage off of his camera last night. And because I never messed around with, A and B camera footage before, with this type of project anyway. And it's really easy to sync up the audio, sync up the picture with the audio with using Adobe Premiere, which is what I've been using for this stuff. There's just automatically, you can just select 2 clips and say sync using the audio, and it goes, and it thinks for a second and then lines it up. It's pretty cool. So not a lot of work involved with that, but that's what I was experimenting with yesterday.
Yes, but on that topic as well, we're doing the acoustic stuff, and with the rug ripped out from under you, essentially with not playing live. Has it been the same for both of you with the? No, I know Chad and I were speaking on the phone the other day. We were talking about just setting up the gear just for the hell of it, just because.
Yeah,
the motion, just going through the motion of setting up the gear and wiring it up and sound checking. It's just, I never thought I'd miss that. It's loony.
Yeah.
I've no.
There's always been whenever we've worked, and it's just we were talking about this in relation to. I don't understand why some people try to avoid that type of work. As we've seen with some of the musicians we've worked with over the years, they'll think of any excuse to just vanish when it's time to actually wrap chords and carry speakers around. But I've always felt like whenever we had a show in the past, even if I was having a down day or I was feeling kind of sluggish or whatever, and even on the drive to the show, I get there, and as soon as I start getting out there and carrying unloading the stuff and setting up, I'm just awake and happy.
I agree.
How many times have you played a show feeling miserable, just dragging all the way there, and then you, on the drive home, just been through the roof? I have come home and gone for a run after, you know what I mean? After being bedridden before. It's just mind blowing how this affects you. But again, you have to be doing something that you like. I know that there's people in bands that are not playing their, what and I hate that hippie crap, feeds your soul or feed blah 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 blah. But you have to be doing something that you like, and you have to have an input in it. You have to be, So anyway, so that's been driving me crazy. Is not the there's been, say we play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it's 8-10 hours a day of because you have to warm up, you gotta you get your you restring your guitars, you gotta all the stuff, and then get to the gig, set up, blah blah, all that stuff. And it's just been all those hours of physical physical work, and it's just and then of course the music, and then seeing your friends out there and seeing meeting new people and blah blah blah, and all that comes to a screeching halt, and it's just you're spinning, you're just absolutely spinning. It's a very very strange time. And I spoke to our friend John Nania up in Nebraska, and he was asking me about he's such a fantastic friend first and foremost, but bass player he is. I don't know if I've ever met more fluid, knowledgeable in every single genre of music. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever met somebody that's just such a chameleon. Anyway, the reason why I said it because we he's like, hey, he has a wonderful YouTube channel which we'll link to in this chat, please. But he and he just did a Judas Priest number off the Sad Wings of Destiny. I can't remember the name. But amazing, just dexterity of this guy, and he plays it like, you know, like I stutter, just effortlessly, just, you know, without a thought. It's just, and it's so good, it's so precise, and he's got such great rhythm. Anyway, so we were talking about that, and he's like, hey, you know, give me some, you know, bass lines. Of course, I always go to Space Hog in the meantime, because that's you know, if I'm playing a bass, that's my warm up. And he goes, oh yeah, I love that song. And Royce and Langham, their bass player, Space Hog's bass player, one of these bass players that just immaculate tone. Space Hog, I think, is another band that overlooked or
definitely
undercooked, or those guys just. And I think that I could be wrong on this. I could be wrong.
Never.
Thank you. No, I think the reason why they fell apart was because of their attention to detail, the band's attention to detail, and the crew just not being able to hold it to, you know, to the standard they set. That's what I'd heard from.
Oh, really?
A few local sound men and people in the business. Said that this was back when bands, I think, were playing at Numbers, and some of the clubs that came and went downtown. But Space Hog came through town. That was the word on the street that they were one of those bands. But anyway, sorry, I went way off topic. But Space Hog was just the sonic perfection that would come out of a Space Hog record. Is something to behold.
Yeah,
and every single one of them, a killer player.
I don't think I know this band.
Really?
How do I not know this band?
I'm sure you've heard some of their songs. It's funny along those lines of the being underrated, that as infrequently as I hear people talking about them and people not knowing who they are, I do hear their songs played in pubs a lot. You know, when the music comes over.
Yeah.
Like, In the Meantime will come on. I think that's the one that you usually hear.
That was their big shining moment. Yeah. People will think that, you know, like there's these one hit wonder bands that you hear their hit, and then you hear all their other, you know, if you're, you know, unfortunate, or, you know, if you stumble across their other stuff, you say, oh, I see why that was a hit. They made a mistake and they hit a good song.
Right.
And then the rest of the songs are all dogs, right? But in the meantime, although it's, I still, salute. Even though that song In the Meantime was such a big hit and such a sing-along, and it had every kind of influence in it. They were huge Bowie fans. Huge. I mean, just they didn't just steal from Bowie. They kind of pulled, you know, they made Bowie an unofficial, uninvited, you know, member of the band. The only other person I've heard do that is Ricky Gervais. When he sings, he has a huge Bowie, and he doesn't even know he's doing it, but he'll always do impersonations he'll do impersonations of David Bowie's speaking, you know, dialect and his accent and his drawl and you know, all this.
That's why. Okay, it says here, made a modest stint in the late 90s alternative rock scene. I had stopped listening to music by the late 90s. So that's why I don't know
into
them.
Cooking? Martha?
Yeah, me and Martha Stewart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pre-Snoop Dogg, by the way.
What's that?
Goggle it, you'll figure it
out. All right.
Yeah, you don't really need any proof that they're Bowie fans just from listening to their stuff, but there's one of Dead Giveaways. I forget what song this is. I keep moving in a frame. There, you can tell it's not verbatim, but there's a song. It's actually a rare. It's like Tin Machine itself is underrated, but they're on their second album. It's deeply underrated. Second album is even more underrated than the first one. But there's really good track off the second album. You Belong in Rock and Roll. You know that one?
Yeah.
I can't remember which Space Hog song this is, but you and the melody and all that stuff is different, but you can tell that he was using those lyrics as a template for the lyrics for the song. There's a couple phrases that are kind of similar. It's like, I see what you're doing there. But it's kind of cool because nobody knows that song anyway.
Exactly.
So why not? I guess.
I'll steal something that no one knows about.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So this week ELO, next week Space Hawk.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. I got it figured out.
Yeah. But we covered America, right? Wasn't it in the song that we used to cover back?
Yeah.
in the day?
Before I met you, I think I was doing that one.
Yeah.
And it's a song called "This Is America," and I believe it's off the. Oh, I don't even know what records it's off. Damn it.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it's again, the lyric, not so much, but the timbre of his voice and the style in which he sang that song was Bowie all the way.
Oh yeah.
Except it was pure rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
Bowie ventures into that, that soft, swirly kind of stuff. These guys don't. They just hit it hard, and they're
The Hoggassy?
Yeah, the Hoggassy. Thank you.
2001?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah,
This Is
wonderful
America?
album.
Okay.
Not a bad song on it.
A lot of E's next to these songs. You know what that means?
Oh.
Essential.
Existential.
Right.
Explicitly existential.
Yes. Yeah, fantastic band. I don't know. I have no intention of talking about Space Hog today on Easter Monday.
Ta-da!
But do yourself a favor. Yeah, look him up. You might like it.
Yeah, that was one of the things when you and I first started hanging out and sharing music back and forth. That was one of the first things you turned me on to was that band. So you got to hear this stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe you were already covering America and Patrick Devin Band. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you and I started playing that.
Don't say that name.
I'm sorry. And early on, we may have mentioned this in the show briefly before, but when you and I first started working together, the original idea wasn't to do Irish rock because at the time you were doing Patrick Devin Band, and the first idea we had was just to do a separate band from Patrick Devin Band because you still had that was going to be like a side project. And then, of course, Tom Jenkins quit, so you had me replace him. But back then, for a brief period before we met Turi, you were saying, let's just start moving away from that because at the time you're just kind of getting tired of it because you weren't able to do, you hadn't been able to do with it what you wanted to do at the time.
Yeah.
So one of the things we were talking about is like, we can do stuff like Space Hog, and we're kind of thinking of moving in that direction. Of course, we're moving that direction anyway now. But until Turi came along, it was like, that was kind of one of the things we were thinking about was not to sound just like them, but kind of mine those influences, those same influences, Bowie and Queen. And all
anything with a pulse that you can dig into that you're not, like Eric, you're not sitting back there just going 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You got to have, like I just said, 5 minutes ago, you've got to put some music in your mind, in your soul, in your, that you're excited about doing, the question which that we got, and we'll get to in a minute, was, what's your favorite songs to play in the band, blah, blah, blah. There's no song that comes across the set list that I go, okay, maybe Drunken Sailor. But there's no...
Well, the new intro, come on.
The new intro. I do like the new
Jesus,
intro.
I'm sitting right here.
Again, you don't have any intention of playing the song, or you just maybe let's just forget about it. But then you play it and people sing along and they jump. You know what? Hell with it. 2 chords never sounded so good. Just fun and energetic. And then you know what? If you don't like it, put your back into it. Have a little fun with it. See what you think. Again, I listen to Satisfaction or Stones or anything Paul McCartney solo. And I think to myself, I couldn't. There's not enough money or time to sit around and play that. Just never. The song never grabbed me. I understood the hook and the impact that it had on that time, but if you like that, so why didn't the Kinks stomp all over the Stones, with their, because they go from Lola, they go to, that's to me, there's no comparison, Anyway, sorry, I've had way too much coffee today.
One of the things that happened with the Kinks is that they were unable to tour United States.
No, yeah, I understand. Yeah. I understand that. I'm not. Yeah. I'm shining the light on the put both of those songs. Put a couple of those songs side by side, and Ray Davies. Such an amazing songwriter and performer, and the band was great too. And again, nothing wrong with the Stones. I'm not a Stones fan. I don't. I think Charlie Watts.
The thumbs up was out of frame, by the way.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm not a Keith Richards fan. I'm not a and I think that what they've done is incredible, and to be doing it to this day. Oh, not now, boys. Stay at home. Like the rest of us. But you put those two bands side by side. You go, why did that happen? And how was there ever a Beatles and Stones, competition? There's no competition. There's nobody in there. Those guys couldn't plug in the amps for the Beatles.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm sorry.
I think that was kind of a one-way street as far as that was concerned, as far as influence going back and forth. I don't know. I don't really think the Beatles were really concerned what the Stones were doing at any one point.
No,
say that again.
I don't really think the Beatles were concerned about what the Stones were doing at any one point.
No, they were giving them songs.
Right.
Here's a song. Try this will be a hit for you.
Yeah.
That we wrote. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good time.
And I'm not talking about the bands. I'm just talking about from a fan's perspective, looking at a stage where there's the Stones and the Kinks on, and again. Beatles show you couldn't hear anything anyway, so
right.
So that they eliminate themselves, but just the oh, let's play that for 5 minutes. No, let's go home.
One of the funniest things along those lines was the Stones album, their Satanic Majesty's Request. Are you familiar with this one?
No.
That was like their answer to Sgt. Pepper, where the cover is this ridiculous. Clearly, they were trying to do something similar. They were only silly like wizard outfits and stuff. And that album apparently took such a long time to get to. It came out like a year, and it came out in '68. Which by that point, the psychedelic thing was already starting to wind down.
Oh, yeah.
The Beatles had moved on by that point from that. But what cracks me up about that album is how miserable the Stones look on the cover. And it's like when you dress up a cat in a costume and they're a dog and they're just like, that's kind of what they look like in the shot. Yeah. Anyway. And there's like maybe 2 good songs in that record, I think. I don't know.
I think in a street fight, the Kinks would stomp all over the Rolling Stones.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Dave Davies, just his guitar licks alone could take that band down.
And it's funny because we talk about, like, at the end of the month, I got to do a talk about for the School of Rock thing. We're doing all these master classes. I'm doing one on heavy metal, and I just think this has nothing to do with it, but I'm just thinking about like how we discuss and how we define genres and music, and when do certain movements start and when do certain movements end, like. You just mentioned the psychedelic era. Kind of by '68, it was starting to wind down because once the '70s came, like music changed dramatically. But you think about someone like the Kinks. I mean, it's definitely like here we're planting some seeds for the punk rock movement that's going to come in about 10 years, 8 years from now, kind of a thing. Because that was some rocking hard-edged stuff. It's not metal. It's not even near what metal is going to become. But as far as like an aggressive, like in your face, not only tone but like story, like Father Christmas. It's a Christmas song, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna beat you up and take your money, Santa.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. So that's punk rock right there.
Yeah.
But Dave Davies used to cut holes in the speaker to get that growl out of the thing, and I just. I didn't, I always wanted to, even now I've got, with the gear that I use, I can get every single tone known to man on the and I still want to go heavier. I still want to get, that just those noises that make, it's just again, scares the wildlife. Yeah. But he early on was cutting holes in the speaker to get that distorted.
Yeah.
And it's funny, in my remodeling of the house or gutting the house, whatever I was doing yesterday, I had on YouTube, I had a bunch of Saxon playing, early Saxon, and to go back and listen to Saxon early on, late 70s, the Kinks were heavier than Saxon, and to have Nigel Glocker on drums for Saxon, and for the guitar tone to be that weak. You can cut all this shit out. This is terrible. But because I remember coming into to the room a couple of times. Go, whoa! What is that? It sounds like a dying amplifier. That's terrible. Whoever let that go? And again, Steve Harris had that problem with Iron Maiden with their first record. Was he hated the production of it because it wasn't what and people love it. People still say some people say it was their best album to date. It is their best, and I'm if Steve Harris says that we stop playing music, then we stop playing music. That's just how it goes. But if he doesn't like it, then I don't. I mean, I still appreciate the record and I still like the songs, but I understand completely. You listen to Phantom of the Opera and it sounds like it sounds like Guitar Center on a Saturday afternoon. You just want a bullet right to the right to the back of the skull. It's awful. But again, you hear it played today, and they got Yannick, and they got Dave, and they got Adrian, and they play it properly now with the yeah. So anyway, like I say,
you know why? Because Martin Birch didn't produce it.
I know, and he was upset with them. He said, well, lads, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you? They said, well, we didn't think you'd be. Are you kidding me? So,
oh well.
Yes.
So we're ready to move on to some of these questions that people have sent us?
No, I think we should go.
I'm going to use.
Oh.
I go ahead, ask the question.
Okay.
I'll try to when I come back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oops. What's the question?
Yeah.
Okay, we got Susie in Cincinnati. What call it?
Go ahead, caller.
Hi, first time caller, long time listener.
Well, Ellen Ott Reeves, my friend Ellen of Brian.
The beautiful, the wonderful.
Yes.
You say it correctly, Chad.
Yes. She asked, how was the decision arrived at to replace T-shirts for collared shirts? I think she's referring more to my wardrobe changes, right? I'm assuming that's what she doesn't specify, but yeah, I recently updated my wardrobe.
How?
Finally.
How did you do that?
Online. I shopped online. One of the reasons why I only had a few collared shirts before that fit me and that I liked, and I hate shopping. So it took me just a long time to figure out that I could buy shirts online and return the ones that didn't fit. So once I figured out a brand and a size that it worked, I was like, okay, this one. So that's why I'm wearing different clothes now. But anyway.
Yeah. I usually have collared shirts. My sleeves come off because I do sweat an inordinate amount, and it's not nice. I have more shirts in my van than I do in my closet, and I've got a lot of shirts in my closet. But I think that and again, this is only me, but I think that the band should, without a doubt, look better, or at least attempt to dress better than the Punters.
Yeah, it does make a difference.
Question being, when did the collared shirts become, when did you guys discussed, or did you discuss collared shirts versus t-shirts on stage. And I was just saying that.
Well, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying that the bands should, I think the band should attempt at least to look better than the. And again, this is just me. I can't stand going into a bar, watching the band in shorts and flip flops and chairs on the stage, and
it's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, which the sitting down for the acoustic thing drive me up the wall. I can't stand it. So yeah, we used to wear t-shirts, back in the day and stuff like that. Just again because of I have to change shirts. If we play a 4-hour gig, there's a shirt to load in, a shirt for the first set, second set, third set, fourth set, a shirt to load out, drive home, and and so that's why mine are.
Well, we have the credit to. Can we say? I mean, we should probably say where you buy most of your shirts, right?
No, I can't say that.
Is he still? Is
yeah.
What's the name of the shop?
It's called. I just know his name is Salim.
Sicilian, yes.
It's a place on used to be the Buffalo Exchange. He's got a shop right across the street from there on West. Buffalo Exchange is gone, but across the street, wonderful shop, and it's they're all he's a Persian gentleman, and the shiniest, craziest looking shirt you've ever seen. It has that. Anything. Oh yeah, I've seen all the pictures. That Tiger Man show, the Tiger.
Oh yeah,
Tiger King. That I was like, wait a minute, that guy's got my wardrobe. I was like, what's wrong with me? But now again, I don't even know how I found it. I was at Buffalo Exchange and I saw that shop. Saw one of the shiny shirts outside, and I went, I'll have some of that. And I went across, and nicest man in the world. And he goes home, and he'll have his family hands. So these shirts that you get will not be on a rack in Target or in. You're just not going to see them anymore. Yeah. Which is, and I guess it's not a fashion thing. It's just you're supporting a family business. This is and this is a guy that just loves his gig. He just loves his gig. And I remember one time I went in there. He was having his dinner, and nobody else to man the store, so he's just eating at the thing. And he was embarrassed about. He wanted to put the food away. He said, "Don't touch," And then he was offering me, do you want to sit down and eat with me? And it's just nice. I mean, just absolute gentleman. So we became fast friends, and he. And he'll text me and go, "Hey, you just got back from, well, he goes to a few places, but I think they have a shop in anyway, I can't remember what. I don't want to tell a lie, but yeah, he'll text me and say, I've got a bunch of new shirts, so I'll go down and check them out, and they're all pretty. They run pretty small, but he has a couple of shirts then. So anyway, that's why I like to wear a shirt, and even though the sleeves come off. So
I just think it looks. I think it's just like you said. It just looks more professional. It's like as Alan Hill says about bands that either wear their street clothes or they wear shorts or whatever. The saying is, why do you hate yourself more than you hate your audience? Because Oldie's band, we wear suits. El Orbis, we wear suits. Whenever I played in a country band, it was always jeans and a pearl snap. And when we started playing, I was like, this is what I'm going to wear because this is what I'm used to wearing. And it's always. I think I wore a T-shirt for that live set we did outside of Pete's at the very first week, St. Patrick's Day. I wore the green our green St. Patrick's Day T-shirt.
Yeah,
but I just think that. Like you said, you want to look better than the audience, but if the audience is paying a cover, they're paying for a show. Part of the show is how you look, how you present yourself on stage, and that includes how you dress.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no hats. I mean, a cowboy hat, obviously, because it's part of the way you look. You look good in it, but you take it off, and throw your hair around or whatever. It's part of your image, and that looks good on you, you know. But I would never wear a baseball cap on stage. I can't really pull off a cowboy hat like in public, so I choose not to wear. My hair, I think, is, you know, good. Chad's the way he looks has got a really nice look about him. So I just think, you know, but the guys that, you know, no baseball hats, nothing stupid, you know.
Yeah. I understand the punk bands and I understand that, and that's again their mark. That's their, but the stool on the chair, music stand, shorts and flip flops, gun in the mouth. So
yeah, I think we were talking about this, and somebody even said, "Well, what if it's like, you know, super hot out?" And I'm like, "No, we gotta look."
Yeah. Now I've been guilty of that. We played at down in Galveston on the beach, and I did that. I did the shorts for a couple of shows, and I tell you something, it felt tremendous. But it was I had a couple of complaints. There's please never do that again.
That's the cool thing about the shirts that I bought recently is that they're all really light fabric. They're all mostly polyester, and they breathe so well. I don't think I would mind wearing them in the heat.
Yeah,
that's why Victoria's Secret
find out.
So
yeah.
No, they're it just, and it makes you not that you need any reminding, but it really does. It kind of reminds you, hey, people paid. They paid for this, you know.
Yeah,
step it up.
And even if there is no cover charge.
No, I just mean the bar's paying.
Yeah.
You know, you're in a professional setting, and you know, and again, even if you were going to an open mic and you're aspiring to be a performer, set yourself apart from the gits that are coming in that just, you know, I sound really good singing Wonderwank on a guitar. I'm going to go and do this professionally. And then they come in and they, you know, step above that, step out, you know.
Yeah.
You know, that's, again, just me. Although we've spent 10 hours now talking about it, it's not something that I thought about. Just, you know, it was one of those things. You want to be a better, you know, more professional looking sounding band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look the part.
Having said all that, I promise I will shower and do my hair for the next podcast. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, Greg. I'm not wearing a baseball hat, Greg. Sorry, Greg.
Hat. Yeah.
That was a big Dodge pulling up outside. Oh, he's not happy. He's not.
Storming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've noticed too, which is funny for me because usually if I'm not on stage, people don't usually, if I'm like just walking through the venue, most time I usually don't get recognized. I usually am pretty good at just slipping into the shadows. Yeah.
Because he stands in front of me so no one sees me.
But since I've been wearing these shirts,
won't happen again.
That people, I get stopped a lot more often.
Well, they're flashy shirts, man. They look good on you.
Yeah. Thank you.
They look good off you too, but that's a van story.
Next week on SlapperCast. Yeah. Anyway, cool. Thank you, Ellen, for that question. And okay, so here we have a couple questions that are related. Sean Parker asks, Florida tour?
Hi, Sean.
And Sarah asks, are you lads ever playing in or near Austin again? We miss you.
We miss you, Sarah Aiken. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be back in Florida, and we got to go get some of that bland food. Yeah, love Florida. Gotta get back. Yeah, man. As soon as they let us back out, as soon as they let us into that van and on that road, I'm telling you something. There's gonna be hell to pay. I mean, we're going to anywhere there's an outlet, a plug socket. We're gonna plug in. We're gonna play some rock and roll. And we talked to our friend Nikki in Phoenix. We may go out there. You know, again, depending what the landscape looks like when they lift this crap, we may just go out and do a long weekend out in Phoenix, like, you know, to be announced. You know, stay close, keep your ear to the computer, because and then also Austin. Yes, there's so many things to be to be down about with all this bullshit going on right now. There's so many things to be, you know. And one of the really depressing things for me was we had just hit, you know, we'd struck oil essentially in some of these new clubs. You know, 4 Star in Brenham and a couple of places in Austin and in New Braunfels that we had talked to, and they're very, very interested. And we had already set dates. You know, we hadn't nailed them down, but we'd holds on these dates, and it, like a flick of a switch, lights go out. No, you know. So I'm not calling anybody and pestering them about you know, everybody's in their, you know, everybody's running around their own space trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do. Yeah. And the employment's just spiked. The unemployment has spiked. I mean, it really is. It's just, and I can cut this crap out if you like, but I'm looking out the window at this gorgeous day, no humidity, perfect temperature. And I feel, I don't know if I've felt better in 100 years. And all this stuff, but there's nothing you can do. You cannot do anything. Yeah. And people talking about getting 3 weeks to the gallon, you know, of the, you know, in the cars and just stuck. And it's been helpful being in here, you know, because I've, like I said, been writing a lot of music, and that part's been wonderful. But the bad part is not having. Yeah.
That's the worst part of it.
That kind of outlet.
Yeah. So clearly the answer to those questions is yes, but we don't know when. We don't know. It definitely is going to happen, but the problem is people want to book us, but they just can't commit to anything right now. So
yeah, we again getting the emails in from the places that we were booked up in the Midwest and the East Coast and all that, saying, yeah, sorry, it's been pushed forward, and you know, and you can't know what the you can't forecast the punters numbers, you know, hitting the clubs. Yeah, you just don't know. So
case in point, we've had to call off our Ireland tour this year, which is going to be really frustrating because by the time October rolls around, things might be. I would hope that things have been back to normal.
Hopefully.
Hopefully by then. But the problem is that it takes months to get this stuff together, and there's just no way. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely we'd be able to pull it together.
Well, I spoke to my mother yesterday in Ireland, and they pushed the date forward again. So with people not obeying or abiding by the shelter in place, with, you know, it's like that one prick in class that would keep yapping, and your detention would be
2 days, 3 days,
you know, it would be extended. So with the people, you know, we all have to pull together in this. You know, we're all connected, whether you like it or not. You know, so I mean, you have to, you know, pull together on this to get out of it. Otherwise, we spin, we sit, we wait.
Yeah. We didn't want to talk about this. It's kind of, at least in regards to that question, it's kind of unavoidable. So
true.
But now we've addressed it, so we'll move on.
Next question.
Yes. So our friend Erin, Erin Parker Posey, I believe her name is. Is that right?
Erin Parker Posey. I mean, Parker Posey.
Anyway, yeah, Erin is an old friend of ours. She's come to see us hundreds of times in a College Station, and I think in Austin as well.
Yep.
Anyway, she had several different questions. One of which we've kind of already touched on when you were talking about cooking earlier. She says, "What do you guys have hobbies outside of music?"
Yes.
And also, what hobby or skill would you like to learn?
Yes. Oh, what hobby or skill would you like to learn?
Yeah. So, would you consider cooking a hobby of yours?
I suppose
it was a professional.
It was a vocation for a little bit, but you know, ever since I was a kid, I've always gravitated to the kitchen. Because my mom was actually a really good cook, and she had to cook.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't cook a whole lot these days.
Well, because you're here.
What?
And she's there.
Oh yeah. Well, no, but I mean, still, like when they go north for the summer, she's like, "I'm not cooking."
Yeah.
Fuck that, I'm not cooking. Yeah. So,
she's got Potty mouth.
We shouldn't say that, but
okay.
She might. I don't know. But growing up, I always gravitated to the kitchen to hang out with mom and kind of watch. And then when I got on my own, just cooking sort of came kind of natural. Like I had a lot of, trial and error kind of stuff, but it just is what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So that really big. I really like the history of American cinema, American film. So I'm not a full on cinephile, but I like. I went through the AFI. I went through 2 AFI lists, top 100 lists, and watched every movie on those lists if I hadn't seen them. So
and AFI stands for
American Film Institute.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go online to the AFI American Film Institute website, they have a bunch of lists like top 100 action movies or top 100 whatever, and the list changes every year because they add new films, get voted on, or older films get voted off or voted back on. So it's kind of fun to go through and see what you've seen and whatever. So one year I went through the entire list and watched every movie on that list. I'm big into I like tiki stuff.
Yeah.
You've seen The House, of course. So, but I'm not, again, my hobbies are very much like, I don't want to say peripheral because I don't do a full deep dive into it. I don't make it part of my like life, like some people do. Like some people are like people that go to like the tiki conventions are just like, that's too much for me.
I wouldn't even know there was such a thing.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, I think there's a convention for dandruff
there's a convention for everything.
From lint.
Yeah. There's a Reddit too.
From
there's actually lint. There's actually, I think there's Tiki Con, and then there's I think it's called the Hukila. There's 2 big ones, but I don't have the patience to deal with it.
Well, also think about your schedules too. We have the 3 of us right now in this room on this beautiful day, and we've sold our souls to rock and roll. In that we are, so let's say all this shit didn't happen. So right now we're in a van traveling for 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Oh no, wait, that's next month.
May.
I don't even know.
May we're supposed to be.
May.
3 weeks.
So, so in your hobby, if you're an avid collector or a blah, 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 on and on and on, when are you going to have time to commit to those festivals or all the stuff that you want to do?
And even if even if I had the time, I just couldn't deal with those people.
Yeah.
The thing that I do is I do the Percussive Art Society, the drum convention thing that I'm involved with, that I can deal with because those are my people.
Yeah.
Percussionists,
but
music, it's fun.
You look up to them and likewise.
Well, and that's less of a hobby. It's more part of my vocation.
Yeah, even though fellow professionals.
It's a professional thing, but yeah. So I'd say cooking, movies, tiki stuff. I like doing yard work when I can, but even then it's, music is not a hobby, but it's a vocation. So
yeah,
that's me anyway.
So what are your hobbies, Chad?
Yeah, Chad.
This is really a tough. We've talked about this on the show before, and it's a hard question for me to answer because I don't really think I've ever had a hobby. When I was a kid, I liked to draw, but there's so much, like you're saying, what'd you say, children of rock and roll or slaves of rock and roll, whatever. We sold our soul. Yeah. So I pretty much everything I do. If I'm just not watching TV or a movie or something, if I'm on my computer, chances are I'm working on something related to the band. And that's one of the fun things about this is because I have so many different, I majored in media arts when I was in high school at HSPVA, High School for the Performing Visual Arts, a department that no longer exists, the media department. Anyway.
Fame.
Totally different. Yeah.
Remember Fame?
Yeah. Those are the funny things. That was a funny thing about the media department is that we didn't fit your stereotypical Fame,
No, I know.
We were in the hallways with our notebooks and cameras and stuff.
But you still have the leggings, the leg warmers?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't pan down.
But, I've got a background in video production, which is one of the things I'm enjoying being able to play around with this stuff now. So I've touched on, graphic design and web design and all that stuff. All that goes into the band. So there really isn't, if this wasn't related to the band, I could say maybe it was a hobby. I do have a keen interest in podcasting, but here we are doing a podcast for the band. So Yeah, I don't know. I think the last thing I mentioned when this question came up was poetry, because I used to study poetry. It was creative writing was my major in college.
Neat.
And had I gone on to actually finish my degree, it was going to be English with a concentration in creative writing. I had declared that at U of H. And if I hadn't gone on to do this, chances are I probably would have gone back to grad school to study writing. So kind of a hobby, but also it was sort of an abandoned vocation, kind of like with your cooking thing. It was kind of something that I moved. Actually, it wasn't really the same thing because I never made money writing. So I actually I was heading in that direction at one point, and then I steered, changed direction. But poetry is something I would like to get back into again. I'm really, as far as reading, I'm really bad about reading now. I don't really read anymore. And
have you read that Andy Partridge book I gave you?
I've read some of it, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I didn't, yeah. I should probably just give it back to you now.
No, I'm teasing.
But yeah.
With Judy your mother being such a good cook, how did that escape you?
I'm just lazy.
Oh, okay.
My sister, yeah. I have an older brother. He's really good at grilling stuff. Like he loves to grill, even though he lives in Connecticut where it snows a bunch. But my sister, who I love to death, no skills in the kitchen. Like none. Like one day, she's like, come over to mom and dad's house. I'm making chili. I'm like, oh, awesome. She made chili. I get there and I can see all the Hormel cans stacked up next to the sink. I'm like, what the fuck is this all about?
Yeah.
And so, again, I hate to go back to Anthony Jeselnik, but there's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful joke that Anthony does where he says, I don't have anything. Paraphrasing, of course. He says, I don't have any proof. I cannot say this with 100% certainty, but I think my sister's being abused, and because her cooking improved. So anyway, look.
As soon as she got married, her cooking improved.
Sorry, every time I hear that, I just so good. Anyway, so Yeah, I'm surprised because you've mentioned
and I have dabbled in it too. I used to, before I stopped eating eggs, I was trying to perfect my omelet at home. I was getting pretty good at it too, but I abandoned that. I would like to cook more because my mom has in particular has a spaghetti sauce recipe that has been handed down from our ancestors in Sicily. So my great grandparents came from Sicily, her grandparents. So there's a recipe that her mom learned from her dad, my grandfather's mother.
Well, I'm glad
my great grandmother. Yeah. Anyway, it's complicated. Yeah. But yeah, my mom's name is Sampieri.
Yeah.
Sampieri, as it would be pronounced in Italy.
Wow.
Something like that.
Recipe? I want to try it out.
She's been very, very patient with me with the vegan thing. So she's made and I know a lot of our relatives would probably cringe at this, but she made a vegan version of her sauce, which is amazing. So I love, to me, that's the greatest food in the whole world is when my mom makes that stuff. Anything my mom makes is amazing, but that's has always been at the top of my list.
Yeah.
And I do want to, because she's given me that, I have that recipe, I had the old recipe on paper too, but at some point I want to actually make it myself, but I have yet to do it.
Just do it. It's easy. It's
I know.
Way easier than
especially now. I should just,
And Sicilian food is Italian food. I mean, I don't want to, I'm sorry, Sicilians. I know it's different than Italian, but it's some of the best
about
food,
that. Yeah.
Some of the best food is the simplest food, and Sicilians and Italian food is actually very simple.
Yeah.
And it's just a handful of ingredients, and it's always going to taste awesome.
Yeah.
Make the damn sauce.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just, this gets into a slightly sensitive subject for Italians and Sicilians, but I was raised being told, I knew that our ancestors were from Sicily, Bronte, Sicily, specifically, by the way, which is famous for its pistachios, big crop there. Anyway.
You're nuts over there.
But I was raised, I'd been told when I was a kid growing up, you're part Italian, or your great grandparents came from Italy. or from Sicily, but they're Italian, you know? So, but as I grew up and went out in the world, one of my first jobs was at Butero's Delicatessen here in Houston, which closed, I don't know, 10 years,
next to you,
12 years ago. Yeah.
Making the sauce.
But that was run by the Buteros, were an Italian family from the mainland of Italy. I forget where in Italy they were from, but when I went to go interview for that job, Sammy Butero was interviewing me. He was a great guy, but he said, yeah, I'm part Italian too. So really, where are your family from? I said, oh, from Bronte, Sicily. He goes, oh, he goes, it's like, sorry, but you should know that mainland Italians and Sicilians don't really think of each other, the way you might think. I forget exactly what he said, but he's very polite about it. I was like, oh, okay. And there's later
Dallas, Houston.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. I have no idea, but there was this again that happened later when we were playing in Washington, D.C. I forget the name of that pub. Was it Four Fields? The pub in D.C.?
There are many. Carry on.
But there was somebody there. We got into the same subject, and she found out I was from Bronte, or my ancestors from Bronte, Sicily. And she goes, "Oh, you're not even Italian." So I'm like, "Okay, fine." Yeah. I just dropped it. I'm Sicilian then. I'm part. There you go. I'm part Sicilian.
Yeah. Fuck them.
And I'm happy to say that if that's the way you guys want it.
See, told you. Whoa.
That was off camera, by the way.
Told you they were different folks.
Yeah.
All right,
anyway,
Patrick. Hobbies,
just
besides running,
dressing up in women's clothes and hanging out in bars.
Yeah,
that's it. No, running. It's I'm simple, very very simple, and I love. I don't consider myself a cook at any level, but you get hungry enough, you learn real quick. I moved to Boston when I left Ireland. And it was my first stop, and food there is not great. And I worked in a bar making smoothies in a Faneuil Hall, big tourist place, and also worked in I forget the name of the place. It was a Mexican restaurant. My friend Billy Stamatis and my friend John Redmond and a few others worked there, and miserable. It made Taco Bell look like a 7-course. Gourmet meal. This place was awful. But got really good at the spinning the sour cream guns. So yeah,
nothing says Mexican food like Boston.
Yeah.
Or Faneuil Hall, actually.
Faneuil Hall, misery under a roof. Just every kind of food you never want to see. And it's a flea market of air conditioned flea market, and or heated being the time of year. So I hobbies is running, that's it.
Yeah,
I'm just boring, really boring. and I've really enjoyed this lately, writing these new songs. I'm excited. I can't wait to. The only problem is with my writing is I'm limited to the drum patches that I have. I've got about 60, and I don't like any of them anymore.
Well, coffee is a big passion of yours, though. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I have ordered the stovetop espresso maker, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, well, you've talked in the past about possibly, having your own coffee shop.
Oh, I've for 100 years I've wanted to have a coffee shop. Again, there's no way in hell with what we're doing.
Right.
It's 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You just don't leave.
You got 2 kids.
Yeah.
You let them run the
pull them out of school.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're my daughter's a huge coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Now she likes stuff in her coffee. She drinks the black with me, but she also likes the, those fluffy drinks, those for
so macchiatos and stuff like that, or
anything that's not the colored red, green, rainbow bullshit. It's
like the frozen stuff. Or?
Yeah, not that stuff. But maybe the coffee stuff with caramel in it or sweet stuff. But not the that stuff looks like a unicorn vomited, into a, right. It's like, what the hell is that?
Starbucks actually had a drink called unicorn something recently, one of those stupid
unicorn semen.
Unicorn.
It was something goofy.
What was it called? I don't know. But if you have Devlin's Coffee Shop, whatever you want to call it, you're going to serve Americanos and macchiatos and lattes and stuff like that, but no frozen stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with that. I mean,
iced coffee, maybe.
I like iced coffee.
Cold brew, maybe. Okay.
I do. The problem with iced coffee is you can drink it so quickly and so much of it that you will,
Yeah, I screwed myself because of that when I was I used to work in a coffee shop in New York, and I got hooked on iced coffee while I was there, and I screwed myself up so bad I had to go cold turkey off coffee for weeks because I couldn't sleep. Coffee. I couldn't sleep. My digestive system was turned inside out because I was drinking so much of it. Yeah,
it really is. It's one of those things that becomes as satisfying as water, because you're the best iced coffee I ever had in my life was Brothers Coffee on Montrose when they were open for a short time. And Brothers Coffee sold to all the big chains all over this. I know it was national. It might even have been a global thing. But they had a storefront which was the first Brothers Coffee on Montrose in the late 90s. That's the reason for my addiction. I always liked it. My mother would always drink black coffee, no sugar, just black coffee. And it was instant. This is back in Ireland. So I would drink out of that. I would take a sip out of that. I always liked it. But I was truly addicted when Brothers hit the scene, because it was a great social spot. Not drinking, it was a great spot to go and get a coffee, sit outside, write, meet people, talk to the locals and whatnot, and a great crew. And yeah, so that was the beginning of the end for me.
Yeah, I wish I had this video still. It was with my dad. My dad is the one who got me drinking coffee when I was 16, 17 years old, and we were on a road trip in a hotel in El Paso, and there was a coffee machine. There was one of those places with a kitchenette, Embassy Suites, and he had bought me this video camera that summer. This was like the summer of 1985 or something like that. So I had this huge
with the camera. VHS tape in it?
Well, yeah, it had a separate thing for VHS.
It
was a little VCR he bought me that you could take the tape part of it. There was a component thing, so there was a receiver and the tape, so the deck slung over your shoulder, and then this huge, like almost broadcast size. I still have the camera, actually.
Nice.
It's just huge. But we took that on a road trip, and he had me set it up with the tripod. It was probably this tripod too, actually. That might be the tripod he bought me. They don't make them like this anymore, by the way. It's incredibly sturdy. We set it up in the hotel room. We're sitting on the couch making, drinking our coffee, and so that's when I decided how, or I tried it with I tried it black. I tried it with cream. And I tried it with cream and sugar. I decided that right away I didn't like it with sugar. And for a long time I did take it with cream or milk, but it was at some point, I think in my early 20s, I just decided it was easier to just not have to worry about the cream part of it.
Yeah. Good coffee doesn't need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I still don't mind it. I may have it occasionally, like cappuccino, maybe, that type of thing.
I do. Yeah. With a meal, I remember back in the day, Ruggles on Westheimer, they used to do. I used to go there a lot, and I think they went belly up, but they had the best cappuccino I'd ever, because it was a lot less milk, a lot less foam, and really good desserts and really good. So after a nice steak and a good dessert, I like the cappuccino there. But again, I'll always take espresso over.
Yeah. Yeah. I would imagine, like, if you had your own shop, it would be like the one that we found in
Albuquerque.
In Albuquerque, yeah.
If you go to Albuquerque,
what was the name of the place? I'm forgetting now. Oh, Espresso Fino.
Yeah. Espresso Fino.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just sent my dad. My dad's there right now.
Okay.
I was actually a week ago or 2 weeks ago. But I sent him to... So we're going through... we're going out to Vegas, and we hit Albuquerque, and we stop in, we find this place called Espresso Fino. One guy.
Yeah.
And he's back behind that big wall of coffee and stuff. So we go in there, and it's seen from an old Western. You go in there, and he eyes us up, and we look, and I go, "You got any coffee?" And he goes, "Does a sack of flour make a big biscuit?" All right, I'm gonna like this guy. So we go in and I go, "Hey, I need a really big coffee. The biggest one you have? Actually, dump those flours out of that vase, put some coffee in it, and put some espresso in it." He said, "Try the coffee first." He said, "I don't want to, I brew it pretty strong." And I looked at him, I said, "We're going to get along just fine." Ended up putting espresso in it anyway, but not because, so there's a place we used to go to, I can't remember the name of that corporate place that we used to go to all the time, because it was the only place that we could get good coffee, reliable coffee.
Yeah, for a while that was true. Yeah.
So, but then it just started getting pissier and weaker and just crappier. I mean, and it was noticeable, by the quarter or by the, whatever. So, we ended up having to put shots in it and more shots in it. And and it's not like when I used to do heroin this morning. You need more and you need more and you need more, and you never get back to that. That wasn't the case. I drink the same coffee for years now, and I don't have to I don't have to doctor it, and I've the complaint that I get mostly with the coffee that I make is it's too strong, and I don't care.
It's not true, folks.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I do mess with the blends too. I'll get different, So anyway, I digress. So we moved to we talked about this in the show as well. We moved to the local shops when we're touring. We co-pilot usually. Hey, there's a place up here. It's got this, and okay. Do they have drip coffee? That's a must for me. I have to have drip coffee with espresso in it. If it's the Americanos, to me, are way too much water. So again, not important.
I will say really quickly about that is because Americanos used to be my thing at the place that shall not be named currently.
Yeah, I mean, I can't understand how you have an inch of espresso and then 5 inches of water.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I used to not like the taste. The reason why I didn't like the taste.
We're not judging you, Chad.
No, but
just calm down. Okay?
I'm just saying when you started doing the black eyes, which is by the way, not a red eye. Black eye is coffee with 2 shots. You'll hear people call it red eye. It's not a red eye, right?
Well, we call it a red eye here.
Yeah.
You're going to have 2 black eyes.
But there was I vividly remember that when you first turned me on to that, because you said you had the black eye with 2 shots, and you said I was sitting there with my Grande Americano. I was perfectly happy. You said you need to try this. I'm like what? I'm fine, and I was immediately hooked on it, and that crap gets expensive.
Well, it is because you're dealing with you're dealing with corporate America, which is I cannot tell you, but I mean they have to get every penny out of you. They have to get every, so your 25-cent cup of coffee is now $6.
Yeah.
What cost with products and everything? Okay, let's call it 50 cents. Let's just go for the rent and the AC and the Wi-Fi and all this. All right, so let's say you're paying 50 cents. You're now paying $6 for a cup of coffee, and then it doesn't taste that good. And I remember going back in, and I remember the one in Huntsville. We went back in, and I said, are there shots in here? And she goes, oh yeah, there's definitely shots in there. I can't taste it. And she goes, no charge. I'm going to put some in. Well, thank you. Put them in again. Still couldn't taste it.
Same.
I'm not kidding you. So now you're drinking, you're 18, 20 ounces of coffee with, 4-6 shots in it and nothing. No change.
Yeah.
So that's shit.
Yeah.
So you know that you're dealing. Anyway. So I'm completely, now all I want to do is just make coffee.
Yeah.
I'm just dying for God.
That's the worst when we stop someplace and whoever takes the first sip, the other, we're looking at each other, huh?
Yeah.
Good. We want to see the eyebrows go up, and most of the time I hate to say it's like,
Yeah, but so back to Espresso Fino in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And the most joyous thing is having a good cup of coffee. There's just nothing better than a good cup of coffee. But you put a little espresso in it, you're just getting better. All you're doing is improving your life. Go for it, But that wasn't the end of the story. The end of the story is the coffee is magnificent. But right down the road, there's a little Hispanic lady who makes these green chili breakfast burritos. And I don't know if I've ever had something that big in my mouth with such I'm just delete. No, the best tasting breakfast burrito ever had. And I went back inside. I said, "Kid, you're all right. You're gonna go places. Give me 4 more. Give me, And there's only a limited number because she makes them, in the mornings, and they're fresh and they're. And I remember getting a couple for the road because we're going to Vegas. We still had hundreds of hours left on the road, and those things tasted as good cold down the road, later on that day as it just phenomenal.
Wasn't he trying to limit how many of those we bought too? Because he didn't want it to disappear for the other customers.
I didn't notice it. I was too busy.
Anyway, yeah, that guy is so cool.
And also our friends up in Longview at Silver Grizzly, they do a great
Silver Grizzly. Yes,
they do. I was only prompted by the sticker on your laptop.
Yeah, it's on my Mac.
But we have somebody had said this a while back, and really now's the time to do. We should put together a coffee table book of coffee stops that we've made. Mm-hmm. I mean, because you're a coffee.
I've only been drinking coffee like the last 10 or 12 years or so. I kind of came into it late.
Yeah.
So, kid,
you're only young.
Jesus. Yeah. So, yeah. So I kind of came into it late, so I'm still learning. But for me, coffee is almost like coffee is almost to me like cigars. Like I can't, like my palate is not there to tell. I mean, I can tell when it's weak and when it's gross.
Yeah.
Like if you go like to like a Marriott
Denny's
Courtyard or whatever, and stay overnight, and then they have breakfast the next day. Breakfast, and you go get a cup of coffee. It's like, ooh,
you can see.
I can tell that. Yeah,
you get the same tap water, and
I can tell that yours is strong. To me, it's strong. The one I make at home is I think more of a medium kind of a as far as boldness goes. But I'm still learning, but I do like the cold brew over here at Cavo, right?
Catalina.
I'm sorry, Catalina. And then down Midtown where I used to live, there's Retrospect.
Yes.
I like their cold brew a lot. Cavo, which is the one that's next to School of Rock, it's expensive. I'm sorry. Am I right?
Yeah, they're right around the corner for me, and I was really excited when they opened.
I like the shop. I like the people that work there, but
it's like twice as expensive.
I bought a cookie and a coffee, and it was $10. I'm like, what the shit?
Yeah.
Whoa. But the cookie was the size of your steering wheel.
Cookie was no, it was just normal size. It was fine. It was Nutella. Who cares? But
anyway, again, look at the rent down there.
Well, the rent is ridiculous. Yeah. I get that. But the only other coffee store I have was when we went up to Nebraska and we stopped at that burger place where there's millions and billions sold, and you went in, Patrick, and you ordered like 4 espressos or 5 espresso, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was fill that coffee cup up with just a straight
and
espresso.
And it was like, they charge you like, they weren't sure what to do, so they charge you like just like $2 or something like that. And you're like, this is like $17 worth of coffee.
So I got the 12-ounce cup full of espresso, and they had the most fun. We had the most fun trying to explain to them that we didn't want anything in it. But you can have caramel or chocolate sprinkles or anything you want. And I said, no, it's just espresso. And we had so it was a 12-ounce thing full of espresso, and I mean, and it was very, very good. I mean, it was just
weird,
very good on its own.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember where we were when this happened. I think it was one of the first times we went did the Ireland tour that you and I were in a coffee shop somewhere, and you asked for the 2 shots, and it might have been in one of those insomnia places, but the barista was like concerned for you, like, are you sure? Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah,
that sounds dangerous. They just hadn't heard of that before there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so,
wow, we got a whole hour out of
coffee.
Out of coffee, yeah.
Just about.
I can't believe we haven't talked about that on the show before.
About what?
Oh, coffee at that length. I know it's.
Oh, and you also not to add any more time to this thing, but you mentioned there's a coffee shop in Marathon that you really enjoyed, right?
Yes. Oh, it's in the hotel.
The Gage?
The what?
The Gage Hotel in Marathon, the big one? No. The other hotel.
Yeah, smaller one.
I don't know when that is.
Marathon what?
Marathon, Texas, out West Texas.
It's in between Alpine and Big Bend, kind of on the way.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Just east of Alpine.
And they were trained, the baristas and I'll have to look it up. The baristas in the coffee shop in Marathon were trained in Houston. So when we got talking, and again, this is why you stop at the local. This is why you always shop local. Just end to end, top to bottom, side to side, round and round. Shop local. I'll tell you why. Because when you start meeting these people and talking to these people and get off your fucking phone and look at the people in the eye and just just the connections, the immediate. There's often, there's the people behind the counter that don't want to have anything to do, don't like their job again, understand it. But the commonality that just explodes when you touch on, where he's coming from, where you going, and you hit on Houston or you hit on, and it was funny because I want to say that I lived in Florida for a time, and it was a husband and wife team, and the wife had been in Florida for a while too. Just all these connections made, but the Houston connection was the big.
Not the V6 coffee bar? No.
That sounds.
I'm just looking.
Yeah, it was in the hotel. I appreciate the. But yeah,
sorry to interrupt.
Wonderful. No, that's I'm just racking my head trying to. But that's why you shop local, because you're gonna meet the real people. You're not gonna be churned in and out. It's not a line of and then also the airport. If you see the big line of people, they're just going there because they know how to rattle off their order, and they know that they're going to get their name spelled wrong, and they know that they're going to spend 3 times 10 times what it's worth, and so they're happy to be in that line. Versus if you can find it, it's big airport, you'll find the local coffee shop in there, with the pewter jugs of coffee on the thing made, and just real people,
Yeah. All right. So do we address this? I guess maybe we're moving on from this now. But Erin had also asked, what skill would you like to learn? Did we touch on that?
No, we did not.
Can you think of anything off?
Yeah,
you don't know that you like to know?
Well, it's not really. I mean, it's not very much different from music, but I wish I would have stuck with piano.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Yeah, me too.
I took a lot of piano lessons. I had to study piano in college and in grad school, and I really, really enjoy it. I really love the piano. I think it's like the mother instrument, like especially for percussion. And I have all the Beethoven piano sonatas and a lot of the Chopin stuff, because it's just. And whenever I would go to a concert to see a piano player play, I would try to sit so I could look down the line of the keys to watch their hands.
Yeah.
So maybe piano would be one thing I'd like to relearn. I mean, I know how to. I could play it, but I just never stuck with it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, me as well. I enjoyed it. I have one at home. It's right next to my couch, and I barely ever touch it.
What's wrong with you?
I know it's horrible, but I need to learn
great
again.
Keyboard.
It is, yeah. It's a Roland weighted key.
Oh, nice.
With a lot of really great sounding patches on it.
Yeah.
So I fixed it once before. There's a couple of keys in the middle of I keep breaking. You have to go and replace. It's pretty easy to fix. You have to just unscrew it and you replace the hammer part of it that thing keeps breaking. But yeah, I mostly, like all the other instruments I'm playing, completely self-taught. I tried to take classes twice. Early on, I had a experience with it at a friend's house, and I still remember it vividly because that was long before I learned to play guitar or anything. But there was something that was a light was going off in my head when I was playing it.
Yeah.
But I never really expressed interest in taking lessons in it. So I wish I had. It would have been really cool. It would have been great if I learned guitar earlier too. But when I tried to learn, it was when I was in college. I think it was my late 20s. No, it was when I was 30 years old. Twice I tried to take classes at U of H, and then for those as an elective class, and they teach you sight reading at the same time they're teaching you technique, and I could not. I was just way too impatient to learn how to sight read. I'd taken basic music theory before that and aced the class. It was a pretty easy class, but as far as sight reading, I would get the once I learned what the music was, I would start just playing it from ear because reflexively that's just what I do. Mm-hmm. And so it was really hard for me to connect the notes to the music, which I was already hearing in my head. Yeah. I just couldn't do it. And then because I would be doing embellishments and stuff, and the teacher would come by and go, no, play what's on the paper. Like, I can't. I wound up dropping the class both times. So that was so frustrated.
When I auditioned for the Houston Symphony back in 2009, just as they put out open call, and I said, fuck it, I'll try it. And they said, had you learn all this? You had to learn a snare drum solo, you had to learn a tambourine part, a triangle part, and some keyboard stuff, xylophone stuff. I started learning all this stuff. Learning it was easy. And so you get to the audition and you walk on stage at Symphony Hall, and it's completely dark, and someone just says, play the snare piece. So you play the snare drum piece. That's enough. Play the keyboard piece. Blah, 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 blah. Play that thing. Play the tambourine thing, whatever. Yeah. And then he said, there's some sight reading on the stand at the xylophone. Take it out. It should say whatever on the top of it. We'll give you a few minutes to take a look at it. So you take a look at it and you're like, okay, it's in the key of E flat. Starts on the E, goes down up there, goes in there. Okay, play the piece. And I'm kind of like, I'm doing okay. I'm doing great. And at the end of the first line, they put a meter change. So it went from 4/4 to 6/8 and a key change. And then the music started on the very next line. So, which is not how you write music. You actually supposed to give somebody a heads up because it was sight reading. And I got to that part, I just stopped playing, like, thank you. I'm done. Yeah, it was that sight reading. It's a challenge. I mean, I was doing, because I read music and I was teaching at the same time, I was sight reading a lot of stuff for the kids. Oh no, it goes like this. See, this is how it goes, kind of a thing, reading their band music and their solo music and stuff like that. But that was a little bit more challenging than I was hoping for that day. Needless to say, I didn't get a call back.
Yeah, I have zero music theory. Never took I did steal money.
True.
I got the money honestly, but I stole it because I didn't do with it what I was supposed to do. But I used to as a kid take money for guitar lessons from my mother and go and buy cigarettes. So I never learned any guitar, and that would be tremendous to learn. My daughter plays trombone and violin, and she can read music, and she's pretty good. And I came home one day. We were talking about the Kinks. I came home one day and I heard.
Oh, nice.
I was like, what is that? What? And I'm going to kick in the door. What the hell is going on in here? Playing the Kinks. I was like, get the guitar. Let me see this. And it was in key. It was in time. It was so whoa. How did you? I just looked up the music and I was like, oh. So again, that's why I do by ear. But to hear it and to see it and to it's and again, I know what 4/4 and 6/8 and so just because. You're in the you've been playing music live for this long.
Yeah,
you're going to come
something.
across it.
Yeah,
and again, like the 1-4-5 chord progression, this and that. I don't know what it means. Hear it, got it. Read it.
Well, I think to not inflate your ego any bigger than it already is. Here we go.
There's no room.
Yeah, just loaded comment. But I think you understand theory to the point of, like you said, hearing it and understanding where you're going next. What it looks like on a piece of paper is probably inconsequential unless you really want to learn it, which is it's not really that hard to learn. It's almost like another language, but I think you're so far into music in your life that I don't think it'd be difficult to learn. Does it make you a better player at this point? Maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. I mean,
I'm not going to learn it.
And that's a big discussion that a lot of people have about like learning. Some people say, I'd rather have someone that learns by ear and plays from the heart than someone that can read. And I'm like, it's kind of a stupid argument. I think it's a foolish argument. It's like, so you're saying that someone who knows how to read is not going to play from the heart of the soul? I don't necessarily agree with that. I think in some cases it doesn't make you a better musician. It just changes your understanding of what's happening. But I think you already have that because how many songs? Thousands. Three. It's the same. Three, but the same 3 songs 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But no, seriously. I mean, you learn songs because you understand. You hear it and you understand how it works on the guitar.
Yeah, I use muscle memory. I don't know keys. I don't know. So I use muscle memory for different songs because when you're singing and playing at the same time, a lot of the times, and when you sing loud, your hearing shuts, so you're not hearing the guitar. When you sing really, really loud, if you scream really, really loud, try to click your fingers and see if you can hear it. And even though you can feel that you're doing it, you can't hear it when you're screaming. And it's the same thing with singing. So when you play, you better know where you're, Yeah,
and that's a skill in its own.
We're supposed to be, yeah. So
some people can't do that, and they have music careers.
Yeah.
It's kind of a mystery to me. It's like, I think it's kind of amazing that we're able to sing at all, that we can go for a note. I mean, talking is one thing, but being able to go for a note and hit it, and you know what I mean?
You haven't heard me sing yet.
I think maybe have.
Yeah.
But
check out some of our new acoustic shows, and you'll hear us sing.
Yeah, he's been piping.
I feel like who's the middle Brady? Is it Peter?
Tom Brady?
I don't know.
The middle Brady, that episode where his voice changes. They all sing a song and his voice changes. Go Google that. That's how I sound like when I sing. It's time to rearrange. Anyway.
But that and whistling, it's like, I have a certain range in whistling, but I can whistle a tune. It's like, how am I doing that? I don't even know how that works. It's crazy. Anyway.
Well, it's the pressure of your.
It's the throat. It's all in the throat.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, gosh, we haven't even got through all the questions, and we're
like an hour and a half almost.
We have gone long. Yeah. Where are we? Yeah, hour 40. Gosh.
Well, because people are going stir crazy in there, but this might be too long to subject people's sanity to this.
So Erin did have one more question, but maybe we should save it for next week.
What was the question, Chad?
The question was, do each of you guys have your own personal favorite song that we play?
Ooh.
And I'm assuming she meant in Blaggards.
Sure.
Have we played Black Rose by Thin Lizzy yet?
No.
Okay. No.
Okay, we'll keep it for next week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to. I mean, you mentioned Come Dancing by the Kinks. That would be really fun to play with Jeff, especially.
Yeah. There are many favorite songs. I personally, I like to play, and I really can say that honestly because it's a part of the night where you're there to hopefully move the audience, and I don't mean just dance or drink or
to the exit,
jumper, to the exit. That's a good one. The different parts of the night are, you can't predict how the audience is going to react and what songs they're going to like, and especially when you put a new one in the set. A lot of the times I stare at the ground. I don't want to see the reaction. I want to just hang it on for dear life. But you're curious to see at the end what the reaction's going to be. Even with songs you played for years, the favorite song can be the one that's just blindsided people that night, and that's cool. So that would be the favorite song of the night. So it doesn't necessarily have to be one that I look forward to play, that I put on the list for. Some of my favorite songs have been when other people are singing, because I get to, pretty
much all my favorites are the ones I'm not singing, which is
but it's because it really does. I mean, when the rhythm section is on and into it, and that's kind of the shirt thing, the collared shirt, or at least trying to dress. When you put forth the effort to step up your performance, and you mean it. Same thing with, when the rhythm section, when the band connects, when the band locks in and are able to deliver that.
Yeah.
That's when the music takes over, and it just sounds so crystals and soul lifting, and that's not the there's that moment where you actually get yourself kicked in the head, and that's the moment where you're and it's most of the time it comes from being blindsided by the reaction in the room.
Yeah
So I have to say mine's a giving, not a taking. Mine's a giving.
I think the question is best answered. It's different every night, because, like Patrick's saying, is like it's the way that you feel when you play that song. Like, some songs can be more like, for me, it's like, okay, how does this one go? Here's the part. I can make sure I play the part right. Make sure I'm locking in with Chad. Make sure we're supporting, the fiddle or the guitar or the vocal or whatever. But then it's like the songs where they're just like this. It's wild abandon, and it's like, I'm having fun doing what I'm doing right now, like at this particular moment. And then when the crowd reacts, that's when it's just like, oh, okay, we did our job right, kind of a thing. I can't say there's one particular song, but it and it's like I said, it's different every night.
Yeah. That's kind of frustrating. Right now, we don't have the audience reaction right now for our shows. At least not immediately, We get to see the comments afterwards.
But in recent, the last 4 or 5 acoustic, everybody's been so generous and so tremendously big-hearted, and that's the nice part about this is, hearing people saying, "Hey, I'm stuck at home. We're inside. The music is." I'm just so thrilled that we're able to do this.
Yeah.
And to be, again, like I said, I miss the volume and the energy of standing up and plugging in and getting loud. I miss that. I'm going to go crazy.
One thing I noticed on Saturday was I looked over Chad's shoulder at the comments on the Facebook thing, and then the cool thing was people were saying, they were like saying hello to their friends that they could see showing up. I thought that was nice. It's like a way for the folks to stay connected. Like, hey Susie, hey Johnny, and they're like, hey, what's up? Kind of a thing to each other online. And it's fun to see them kind of making that connection.
That's always been one of the draws, I think, to the live streams, even before this whole shutdown thing started. That's people who have done that in the comments.
Yeah, it's neat.
Live streams. Yeah.
I
really and there's hardly a song we play that I don't like, but before this, we had to ask, this question has been asked before, and before I remember saying that I really like the new stuff we're playing. That's usually my stuff I'm most excited about. Moonshiner being one of the most recent stuff that we've added to the set over the past year that I like. But now it was funny because there was the song Rock and Roll Patio, which is a Shane MacGowan song that he did with the Popes, we've had in the set since the very beginning. And we've never really been able to figure out the groove for it. And now
we just didn't spend time on it.
Yeah.
You know, we
But since we did it, now that we're playing it with you, yeah, the last two times we played it have been, especially this last stream, I think was just so good. And Jeff, like you said, he's always been amazing. But this last show, he was really on fire. And the stuff he played in that song,
he played a couple solos on Saturday that were just like, holy smoke, that was awesome.
I really, really enjoy that one now. Anyway, that was the first thing I thought of when she asked that question. I was like, Rock and Roll Patty. That's my new favorite at the moment. Yeah,
cool. All right, yeah, that's fun to play.
Yeah,
definitely is fun to play.
Yeah,
and we haven't played in a while, but I really, as far as the original stuff go, Rain or Shine, I think is my favorite of the original stuff that Patrick has written recently. We haven't done that really in a while. We haven't done it since the shutdown started. I don't think.
Yeah.
Anyway. We should. We haven't done it acoustically, so we try that next weekend. Yeah. We just need to get Jeff to decide or figure out what he's going to play on it. Which I think we worked on it once before. It's been a while, so we need to brush up on it, I think. Anyway.
All right.
We done?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I think. And I had a thought this morning on next week's SlapperCast. And again, its thought hadn't hit the room yet. So I was thinking, you know those old movies, where the hero gets shot and you're like, go on with that.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. Then again, this would probably need a little time to think of. I'm wondering if there's any rock and roll band that, like when Cliff Burton from Metallica died, they said, oh, we have to go on. That's what he would have wanted. Are there any, like Freddie? I mean, are there any bands that, the singers or the band members like, no, I don't want you to go. Because I'm going to say right now, if I died tonight, I don't want you guys doing this shit anymore. No, just. No, you know what I mean? Like because of course you go to Queen, it's like, who the fuck is going to replace Freddie? It's like everybody just go do your solo records and, be off, or, go form another thing. Don't call it Queen,
Right.
Is there a band member that dies and the band goes on and you think to yourself,
probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, they didn't want that.
That'll be a good topic for next week.
Oh yeah, I got some different ideas about that.
So next week's topic will be ghost bands.
Yeah,
which is basically like why is Count Basie's band still playing?
Yeah,
everybody in that band's been dead twice over since that.
Yeah, well, we actually played with was it Jeremiah? Was it Bullfrog? What's that band?
Three Dog Night.
We played with them. I don't even think there was an original member in that. And
I got a story about that next week.
All right. Yeah. To be continued.
Involves a local musical hero of ours, friend of ours.
Yeah.
Three Dog Night. I'll tell you all about it next week.
Good. Tune in next week. And listen, keep your questions coming. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And this thing. Everybody wash your hands and be nice to each other. This thing will go real fast. It'll go a whole lot faster. So thanks for tuning in and. Thanks for your questions and keep them coming. We're hopefully back this Sunday.
I think so.
The acoustic thing, if not electric. And also, I'd mumbled something on the last acoustic thing about doing an adult show. If anybody's, if we can get that, because I've had enough of these candy coated lyric, these Sesame Street. Lyric.
It's definitely a shock to my ears when I don't hear the correct words.
Yeah. I tell you, the hardest part is trying to remember what the original words are or to take out the one. Because I've just been, freewheeling for so long.
Yeah, freeballing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to do that.
What?
Just make sure it's well known ahead of time. That's what we're planning to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'll wear our over 12 T-shirts.
Yeah.
R. Kelly gave us a bunch.
He did. Yeah. That smells funny though.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. And thank you for your questions again, as Patrick already said. Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Ellen.
Guy from Florida.
And thank you, Sean.
Sean. And also, thank you all our new Patreon and all our Patreon people. You're absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Can't thank you enough. Been the Carr brothers.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Reeves, everybody's been so generous. Kathy and Peter Duncan. Good God.
Thank my mom. I think she bought another T-shirt this month, or she's about to buy another T-shirt for somebody. So
okay, cool. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, we've extended our. We're giving all the proceeds from the profits from our T-shirt sales online to No Kid Hungry. No
Houston Food Bank.
Oh, Houston Food Bank.
Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah, now we're doing the Houston Food Bank.
Oh, we're changing it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Houston Food Bank.
We'll split it
changed.
up. We'll just March was weak, so
yeah,
we're trying to.
Well, it was No Kid Hungry is what we're doing for the T-shirts.
NoKidHungry.org and Houston Food Bank. We just split it because it's just everybody doing such fantastic work and of course goes without saying, but all the doctors and nurses and police and firemen and all the people working in the stores, thank you. This is especially rough on all of you, and we thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. All right. Thank you, y'all. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
Oh, and subscribe, please. If you're watching this on YouTube, I can't point in the right direction. Please subscribe. We definitely appreciate it. We're almost there. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers. Right. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, okay. We're right there.
We're very close. All right. Cheers, y'all.
Mwah.
And he did Queen's Flash Gordon record, so he's on my list.
That's Flash Gordon. That's like children playing with Tupperware in the kitchen to me. It was like, Flash, I love you, but we've only got 15 minutes to clean the floor.
I made my mom take me to that and Xanadu. I was a big ELO fan as a kid. I go, we got to go see Xanadu because ELO's on the soundtrack. Terrible.
ELO, man, what a brilliant band.
Oh yeah,
and for Jeff Lynne I know he got some recognition, but my God, for as genius as that band was, I remember listening to Living Thing.
Yeah.
Just that Last Train to London. Oh, these deep cuts. That as a kid just go, how does that sound like that? And then the Discovery record was definitely their disco record. It was where Last Train comes from. But that record is just, I don't care. It sounds great. The playing is great. It's really well produced. Yeah, and he has a style. Jeff Lynne. I mean, there's just nobody. He and Tom Petty were so recognizable with the first of the feel of that record, even just taking it out of the sleeve, you just knew who it was, and you knew what you were going to get, but you never knew to what level of intensity you were going to be blown away.
Definitely a recognizable. Speaking of producers, like we did last week, Chad. I mean, Jeff Lynne's production definitely has a unique and remarkable. You're like, oh, that's Jeff Lynne. From the first measure, the first 4 notes, it's like, oh, that's Jeff Lynne producing that record.
Yeah,
I think he did. Which Tom Petty record was it?
Full Moon Fever.
And I think he did one of the George Harrison solo records.
Cloud 9.
Yeah. And definitely, he's all over that Traveling Wilbury shit.
So that was all around the same time, too. Late 80s.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's get Jeff to produce it. Okay.
Yeah. And he also produced, he produced Paul McCartney in the late 90s as well.
Probably.
What record was that? Flaming Pie.
Flaming Pie, Flowers in the Dirt, I think, was Paul, and I think Elvis Costello had a hand in that too. At least help songwriting.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have been cool if he produced it. I was always angry that because those songs that those two wrote together, are so good.
Yeah,
so much better than anything Paul was doing on his own.
Paul shouldn't do anything on his own.
Yeah,
what's that?
Paul McCartney should go home. Should not do anything on his own.
Exactly.
He's much better with collaborators.
That Flowers in the Dirt record is really, really, really good. And that was the tour I saw him on years ago. And I was like, killer band and except for Linda.
Have you heard the demos of the two of them playing the songs?
Yeah.
They should have done an album together.
Yeah.
And I think they would have. It's just Paul didn't want to do it because he was really felt really uncomfortable about how similar it felt to working with John Lennon when he was working with Elvis.
Dude, it's been like 15 years.
I know,
Get over it.
Yeah.
Wait, was it longer than that? It was longer than that.
At the time, it was about 20 years. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Crazy. I was going to say one more thing, and I just totally forgot what it was. Oh, I'm planning on doing a deep dive into ELO this week.
Really?
Deep dive. Yeah. Going back to the first record, I'm going to go through all the records.
Oh, we should talk about that next week then.
I'll give you a full report next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a huge
Is that enough time?
Really. I'm a huge Bev Bevan. I mean, Bev Bevan is on my short list of like, drummers that I admire and that were influenced on me. And Bev is definitely the drummer for ELO is awesome, fantastic drummer. All right.